Alright guys, so I made a video the other day, how fast it gets dry. I had to start feeding hay because there was really not much for the cows to eat, and I wanted the other pastures to grow as much as possible before I move the cows. And you can see I was feeding bales up along here where it was just weeds growing. Probably another month I'll come up here and sprinkle seed around. There's one big square bale down here that I fed the cows didn't finish. And like a dummy, I didn't come out here and check before I moved the cows yesterday morning. I just kind of assumed that they'd had that bale gone. But they didn't. So, anyways, this morning I rode around the pasture. We did pick up 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of rain yesterday and the day before, so things are looking a little better. They're starting to green up. But anyways, I rode around the other two pastures just to check them, and found a tree on the fence that broke off in the wind the other day, so I cut that up. That's why I love high tensile wire. 2 cuts on each side of the wire, kicked the log off, the wire sprung back up to where it belongs. Good to go. But that opened up a whole nother can of worms, because that made me go back home and grab the chainsaws and the gas and all that fun stuff. And then I grabbed a couple bags of seed that I had. That was about 1/4 of a bag, and this full bag. And then in the woods over yonder, I sprinkled seed basically along the whole thing, because there is some grass starting to grow in there. But without me putting any seed out there, nothing's going to grow. And the stuff that is growing is seed that I sprinkled last year. And then I come over here and sprinkled seed down there. And then, of course, being I had steel and steel, I decided to open up another can of worms. And you can see what the woods look like. You can barely see the field through the trees. So as we go along this way, you can see the progress. That big tree there was cut last fall. I need to come up here to the 6400, hook a chain to it and pull it up here. But if you focus on the field down there, you can see it's starting to open up. A little more and a little more. Here you can see where I bale grazed or fed them bales last year. There's a piece of net wrap there I need to pick up. I sprinkled that winter rye. That might have been a bad mistake. I should have just sprinkled grass seed there, because I think the winter rye choked out the grass. But if you can see down in the woods, she's opening up quite a bit. I dropped all these trees today. It's not terribly hot, but you're running chainsaws for a couple hours. It was hot enough for that, and that's why I figured it'd be a good day to cut on the north side of the hill. But now you can see the bean field across the road. Basically, I want to start and open this up. I got to cut this dead tree down yet, but I ran out of gas and I didn't go back. You can see little grass starting up there. Grass starting to sprout up everywhere here. So yeah, I started dropping these trees, and basically I sprinkled grass seed on the better part of this, and then up through the valley over here. I'm hoping that by the time the cows come back here, these leaves will hopefully be dried up, and then they'll come through here and bust a bunch of these branches off the trees for me, and keep the brush and what have you down. And then this fall, I am probably going to bring a 6400 and a chain over here and try and skid these logs down to the field. I'm probably going to cut them up in log length, put them on my bale wagon and haul them home. But you can see, this is what it looks like now. Come on, camera. I just left trees every once in a while that I'll cut later once they're more mature. Like this big maple tree I'm going to leave. As I'm going along, I'm trying to leave more of the oaks and take more of the maple. But I'm going to leave a little of each as I go. But I was going to cut over a little bit farther. But at least now I've got a pretty wide opening here where sunlight can shine down this hill and grass can get growing. But the plan is to cut along the field edge. You know, cut all the way down to where the other side that I have cut. Get that wood out of here and cut up, get all the brush pushed down to the pile, and then I'll come and, you know, keep working my way from the bottom, because most of the trees halfway down the hill to down the hill. Once you get halfway up the hill, the trees have heavier growth going uphill, so all these trees all want to fall uphill. But if I cut, you know, a swath along the bottom, hopefully they get branches growing this way, and then they're going to want to fall downhill. Although falling uphill isn't a bad thing, it's just it's harder to skid the logs out of here until you get a good path opened up. But anyways, I didn't make it up this far with the seed, so I'm probably going to come back out here and sprinkle some seed around. But I'm getting it. And of course, right there I dropped about 3 trees in one that's still standing, so I'm going to have to skid them out anyways, which was kind of the plan. But I just figured, being I was playing with the chainsaw, I might as well knock these down. And that way all these leaves will fall off, and the branches, hopefully the cows will knock a bunch of the branches off before I start cutting firewood hot and heavy in October, November. So if they can even get through here, I'm sure I'm going to cut more stuff up before then. Come up here and block up some of these smaller ones, like this cherry tree I'm standing on. There's a cherry tree. There's an ash. Get some of them ones cut up. Maple I'm not so worried about, because that burns pretty good green in my stove. But this heavier stuff, or harder wood, is nicer to block it and let it dry a little bit before then. And this cherry makes awesome firewood. But as you can see, I'm leaving trees throughout. They will grow, and then we'll go through and thin later as needed. I'm going to leave this big mature maple here. I wish it wasn't a double trunk tree, which I hate cutting them down. That's part of why I left it there. Eventually the wind will take it. It'll bust one of them off, and then I'll cut that up. But you can see throughout here there is a little bit of grass that was growing, but it was so dark in here, it needs to see sunlight. So like I say, I'm going to go through and sprinkle seed now, but I need to go buy another bag of that pasture mix grass. So yeah, anyways, this is what I've got going on. This is my buddy Michigan Farming, cuz we were talking. I told him I was opening up a can of steel on some trees. So, but this is what it's looking like in here. Just with the cows being in here, I've taken care of a lot of the end of the growth. And I did kind of go through here with the Fiskars too and cut a bunch of trees. Here you can see grass seed that I sprinkled. But I didn't get over and through here, so I might actually have enough to do that. I'm not for sure. But it's just so dark in here. The grass, or the sunlight, doesn't really get to the ground very well. And just by cutting these trees down here, it's brighter in here already. And we're almost 6 o'clock in the evening right now, so hopefully that will make a big difference and we'll get grass growing in here. So the old mama cow's got something to eat. And like, there's a big maple. He'll probably stay. There's not a lot of oak trees on this side of the hill. There's a few here and there, but like the cherry trees are gonna go. These elm or ash or whatever they are, they're gonna leave because they just, I don't know. They're alright for firewood, but can't keep all the trees, and I'd rather save maple and oak if I'm gonna save anything. So basically what I'm gonna do is keep working my way across to that opening, get them trees all out of here, then come back and take another swath and go down, and eventually we'll be to the top of the hill, and we'll have trees where we want them and no trees where we don't want them. So anyways, that is what she's looking like. And there was a tree I was going to show you guys, and I think I walked right by it. Like this tree right here, that's a really nice big cherry tree. I think there's going to be part of the trunk that's straight enough that we will cut in 8.5 foot lengths, and that will go to my father-in-law, and it'll probably go to the Amish to get sawn for furniture or tables. See, that's a cherry, and there's pretty straight trunk most of the way up, and that is very rare for a cherry tree in these woods. As you can see, it was a small tree that broke once upon a time, and that's what normally happens. They don't get much bigger than those, and they turn to crap in a hurry. So, and the worst part about it is if they fall during the summer, when the cows are out here and the leaves are green, it's not so bad the first day or two, but once the leaves start to wilt, they get that nitrogen toxicity. I don't remember exactly what you call it, but prussic acid or something like that. I don't remember what it is. It's not good for cows. Makes them sick. So I just as soon get them the heck out of here and then open it up for more of these ones to grow, and then we'll harvest them later for firewood. And the cows don't eat saplings, so there's always going to be saplings that are going to come up here later. It's a renewable resource. It's a very good renewable resource. So anyways, this is just a quick update. Now we're at 12.5 minutes, so I am going to try and upload this tonight. So this is just a little update what's going on. We did finally get some rain. The beans are looking better. Pasture's starting to come back. So, being there's nothing else to do right now, I figured I might as well work out in the woods. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Comment, rate, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and I'll catch you on the next one.